and this is Danielle.
Hello.
Hello. Today, our guest is Melissa Stone. She is a nail technician, holistic nail technician.
Yep.
And your business is Ethne and Me.
Yep.
You're based out of East Idaho?
Yes. So my salon is located in the Phoenix Salon Suites in Idaho Falls, just off 17th.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between a nail technician and a holistic nail technician?
So regular nail technicians, they use kind of whatever products are kind of available. They'll use a lot of the more traditional products, especially when it comes to lotions and sugar scrubs and that kind of stuff. Versus me, I don't use anything that has any artificial fragrances in it. And I try to keep my products as natural as possible. I also use hypoallergenic gels and acrylics so that we avoid allergies that have become really, really common to nail products because they can cause allergies to products and other medical grade
That's interesting. That's not
adhesives.
Like standard to have like clean products and certain hygienes.
It's more standard over in Europe to have cleaner products like that. Over here, I mean, people love when things smell really good, and we've become so accustomed to like artificial fragrances and stuff that that's just kind of what the industry standard has become. But I wanted to kind of step outside that and serve a niche that a lot of people don't really think about.
Yeah.
So
where did you get this idea? Were you traveling in Europe and had an experience?
No, I've never left the country. But I, just as a mom, about 7 years ago, I kind of jumped into essential oils and kind of a more holistic lifestyle for my family. And I realized, oh, well, these fragrances are giving me headaches. This could explain a lot of things. And so I wanted to cater to those people who honestly don't go to the salon often because they get headaches from the smells or because they're worried about the products that are being put on their skin.
So does your salon smell like other salons, like rubbing alcohol when you walk in?
No. So I actually had a client in this week. She's like, wow, your salon smells so good. It doesn't smell like other nail salons. Honestly, what you smell when you go in a lot of other nail salons is the acrylic monomer. And while I do some acrylic, I don't do a whole lot of it, but I also run essential oil diffusers in my salon. So they smell really fresh, really clean because those essential oils help clean those smells out of the air really well.
Okay. So you still offer the things that you could get at a typical nail salon?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I do acrylics, I do gels, I do pedicures, manicures, extensions, overlays, all the things.
You just know the good hookup of like the good product that's not
So does that just make
you.
it more expensive then, I assume? No?
My prices are pretty much on par with the rest of the nail techs in the area, unless you're going to like a corner mall salon. They tend to be a little cheaper, but then they nickel and dime you over every little thing that you put into your manicure or your pedicure. So
what was your research like testing these products and deciding what was going to be working for your brand?
So, I mean, a lot of what I use is doTERRA essential oils and some of their other products, their lotions and things. And so that was a really easy choice for me as far as like cleaners and the scents for my salon and some products. And then like when I was looking for a sugar scrub, I jumped on Amazon and I looked for fragrance-free sugar scrubs, and I found one that is essentially sugar, glycerin, and like sunflower seed oil, and that's basically it. And when I was looking at like nail products, I was looking to specifically eliminate a certain ingredient that's really common to cause allergies in people. It is what's called a monomer. It's part of the formula in the nail products that helps to increase adhesion, and it's a really cheap chemical that they can put in the nail products, and it is in really high concentrations in certain cheaper like gels and like the stuff you buy on Amazon. A lot of people DIY with. And it's been causing a lot of allergies in people. It's not the only ingredient in nail products that causes allergies, but it's kind of one of the top ones. And so I wanted to make sure that I was getting products that were formulated well with good chemistry that weren't going to leach these kinds of water soluble products into the skin and that kind of stuff. And I also wanted to go with a brand that's made here in the USA because that helps to lower like your carbon emissions, and it keeps it more local.
Sure.
So I chose a brand. It's called Light Elegance. They're manufactured in Redmond, Oregon. And one of the big reasons I chose them is because they're really big on educating about the chemistry of the products that you're using. And
that's good. People are normally like hiding how their products are made.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right.
And they're very, very open about it. The head chemist there, he does a YouTube channel, and
Cool.
he talks about the chemistry and how the
Nice.
products work. And it's really great.
Okay. So didn't you mention you educate as well?
Yes. So I was an instructor at Austin Cade Academy until pretty recently.
Okay.
And so now I
For
am
nail tech?
for nail tech.
Okay.
Yes. I don't have a cosmetology license. I only have a nail license.
Mm-hmm.
And so now I am working on some of my own classes for professionals. I specialize in pedicures and in gel overlays and that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm working on some of my own classes to teach professionals and looking into starting to teach those seeking licensing as well.
Cool.
How long have you been doing all of this? Like, I guess like from teaching.
Yeah.
So I
What's
started
your background? We haven't even gotten to any of
Yeah.
that.
So I've been doing nails since I was like 9 years old.
Okay.
Someone gave me a Kiss nail art book with
Okay.
some polishes for Christmas when I
Yeah.
was 9 years old.
Uh-huh.
And I just started doing nails when I was a kid. And like, I have a lot of cousins
Yep.
and they would like line up
Free
at
nails.
family gatherings.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me to
That's
do their
great.
nails and do nail art on
Yeah.
them. And I just kind of kept with it. And then, life happens and you do different things. I attended BYU Idaho and studied music education. I taught middle school band in a former
Music
life.
education.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
And then I was a stay-at-home mom for a while. And my husband and I had kind of always talked about me going back and getting my nail technician. And a few years ago, he came and he said, "Hey, did you know that Austin Cade has a night program?" And I was like, "Oh, no, I didn't know that." And he says, "Yeah, I think you should go check it out. Maybe now's the time for you to go get licensed."
Yeah.
And so I did, and we fell down the rabbit hole.
Wow.
It's something you've always wanted to do, just timing wasn't right, and
Yeah.
then it was.
Yeah.
Well,
Cool.
that's great that you like hopped on
Yeah.
this night class. What was that like? That was a sacrifice, I'm sure.
It was. We have 4 kids at home.
Yeah.
And we homeschool them. So I was homeschooling throughout the day. And then at Austin Cade, the night classes start at 5 p.m. and you're there till 10 p.m.
Oh, wow.
And it's Monday through Friday. So
Yeah.
For
it
how long?
So for night classes, it's anywhere from 4 to 6 months, depending on how
Okay.
how
4 to
good
6
you
That's a lot.
are in attendance. Yeah.
It's a long time, but like doable.
It's
a long
doable.
time though.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it was a bit of a sacrifice, and my husband and I were able to work out our schedules so that we didn't have to use a lot of babysitters. We did occasionally have to use babysitters, but I have an awesome niece who babysat for us a lot in
Great.
exchange for free nails. So,
There you go. Perfect.
yeah.
So
Free nails forever.
No,
talk you into that?
not quite forever.
you're like,
but
we're done right now with the nails, actually.
no, she still sees me for her nails.
That's good though.
Okay.
So was the plan to like always open up your own nail salon or like educate further after going to school?
So when I first went, the plan was to just get my license and start doing nails. And I didn't realize going into it some of the different options there are as far as working in the beauty industry.
Okay.
So there are kind of 3 options. You can work hourly, where they pay you an hourly rate whether you have clients there or not. You can work commission, where you make a certain percentage of every service that you do. Or you can work what's called booth rent, where basically you own your own brand, your own
business.
salon, but you rent a space inside of a larger salon.
Yeah.
And as I was getting ready to graduate and I was researching where I wanted to work and looking at different options, you can also work out of your home, and there's certain restrictions on that. And our
Okay.
house didn't meet those restrictions.
Mhm.
And I knew that I wanted to create kind of this more niche, this cleaner, more holistic approach to doing nails.
Okay.
And so I knew that working commission and hourly just weren't going to work for me, because there are no salons in the
No.
area who kind of fit that mold. And so I knew that kind of creating my own brand and my own business and booth renting was going to be the way I had to go. What happened, it kind
Oh,
of
you
fell
mentioned
into my
booth.
lap, was this gal posted on Facebook, and she said, "Hey, I'm looking for a nail technician to split a booth with me. I'm a cosmetologist, but I don't do nails. And it would be great for someone who's just starting out." And I was like, "Oh, this sounds great." So I contacted her and wound up working out of an assisted living facility for about a year and a half.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah, it was really fun. I got to do all the old ladies' nails, but
Interesting.
they allowed me to bring my own clients in, and
Okay.
the booth rent was fairly reasonably. It was really
I
reasonable.
bet that was
Yeah.
a lot of clients.
It was-
to
it
do
was a lot
nails.
of
A
fun.
lot.
Yeah.
It wasn't a ton of clients because they're on fixed incomes, and
Sure.
some
Oh,
of them it's
yeah.
just it's not
Sure.
in their budget.
Mhm.
But I got a decent amount of clients there and fell in love with the people. They have
Mhm.
amazing stories and so much fun. And then started building up my own clientele. And then very recently, I chose to move out of there and move into kind of a more salon, like traditional salon type
Okay.
environment.
Yeah.
So I moved into Phoenix Salon Suites.
Okay.
They're over on 17th,
Yeah.
and I have my own private room where I can serve my clients, and I'll have some other people coming in and kind of joining me in that space here in the next little while.
That'll be cool.
Yeah.
So what have you been doing for back to the education piece of you educating others?
So several months ago, I did host I taught a pedicuring class. I wasn't that great at advertising, I'll be honest, and I didn't have a lot of people in attendance, but
Mhm.
the people that did come said that it was really educational, really enjoyed learning the techniques that I use and the ways that I kind of elevate my pedicuring and how they can elevate their pedicuring and perform better pedicures as well.
Yeah.
So your classes are meant for people who already have the basic knowledge of what they're doing.
So I can teach, now that I'm a licensed educator, I can teach people who are seeking licensing or who are DIYers and who just want to learn how to do it a little bit more
Even
safely.
DIYers.
Even
can do it.
DIYers. Yeah, absolutely.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
I'm sure you'd get quite a few people who'd want to do that.
Yeah. There are lots of DIYers who are just looking to kind of, up level their DIY game.
Yeah.
And so here in the next little while, I'll be starting to advertise and do some of those kinds of classes. As well as I'm looking into educating people who are seeking licensure and how I can do that kind of on my own without a school.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
That's
So
pretty
you
cool.
could actually get them licensed without having to send them to like Austin Cade.
Yes. So it's apprenticeships. So
That's
Gotcha.
cool.
yeah.
I see. Okay. Is that how that works? Because I see people post that a lot where they're like, it's like some random person they got a certificate
And does
through.
that matter in that
Yeah.
industry, whether you get it from a person or an Austin Cade Academy?
Yeah.
Like how does that, yeah.
Yeah, it does make a difference. Through the schools in the state of Idaho, the minimum requirement for a nail tech license is 400 hours.
Okay.
And to do it as an apprenticeship,
Mhm.
so it kind of works like old timey. You go and you work for them, and they teach you the trade, and
Mhm.
then you go out and find your own job, or you continue working for that person. And for apprenticeships for nail techs, it's double that. For anything in the beauty industry,
amount
it's
of
double
time
the
to
amount of
do it?
hours to do it in the school versus
Wow.
as apprentice. And so it's 800 hours to do an apprenticeship, which still really isn't that much.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Versus,
versus doing it
Yeah.
in a school.
I see. Because you could essentially kind of get paid too as an apprentice, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. As an apprentice, you can make like small
A
commissions
job
and
a
stuff.
So someone
yeah.
working with you can spend half the money and do it faster?
Yeah. Not faster. It takes a little
It's
bit
double
longer.
the time.
It's double.
Oh,
the
it's with
time.
you that it's 800.
Mhm.
I see. I see.
As an apprentice.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yep.
Sure. But you're getting so much more experience in that
Mhm.
probably than you would at school.
Or like
It's
real
different.
life
You're seeing.
experience.
Yeah, you're getting
It's
a lot more real life, a lot more hands-on
Mhm.
experience, and like you said, it can be cheaper.
Yeah.
And
And if
yeah.
anything, maybe nice to have like be under the apprenticeship umbrella for a little bit longer to make more mistakes, like in that 800 hours, you
Yeah.
know, that way you have some help.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good point.
Because like you
Yeah.
said, that's really still not that long. When it's something you're
still
trying
not
to like
long.
tell people you can do professionally, like it's
Mhm.
not a lot of time to practice something.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I remember graduating school and thinking, I have no idea what I'm doing. But then going out and serving actual clients and it kind of feels overwhelming. And
What
so
parts
that
do you think you were missing?
more than anything, it was just a little bit more hands-on practice.
Okay.
I mean, I
Like
did get
with a client,
yeah,
like
with
interacting.
clients. Yeah.
Mhm.
And then a lot of the business side of things, like you're tracking your expenses, tracking your income, because when you're in school, you don't have to do any of that.
Mhm. Mhm.
And
They don't teach you the business management side.
They do teach you. They try to teach you a little bit of that, especially at Austin Cade. Some of the other beauty schools don't include any of that.
Hmm.
But it's different actually going out there and doing it and handling your accounting books and tracking.
It really wouldn't
all
matter
that
how much practice
kind
you
of
did in
stuff.
class. Like once you go out in the real world, it's just different.
It's so different. And like setting up your LLC and the different kinds of licenses you need to have to operate your establishment and your business license and what taxes you have to charge.
That's so hard also in like the beauty field because you have like licenses and things that you have to maintain.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to renew your license every couple of years. You have to have either a primary or a contiguous establishment license, and those have to be renewed every year. And like, for example, I have an LLC, and so I had to figure out how to set up my LLC, and thankfully I had a business coach in my corner who was able to help me set that up and figure that out.
Okay. So have you had any good like collaborations that have helped you boost your business in a meaningful way?
So about a month ago, I was a guest on a podcast called the Green Beauty Community Podcast.
Okay.
And they're a community of beauty professionals who are trying to make changes in the industry, help other beauty professionals see how they can kind of be more ecological, more economical, more sustainable and holistic in their beauty practices. And so that was really great to share some of the tools and the things that I use in my business with them.
Yeah.
And then just the nail community, the beauty community around here is really supportive. I've been able to work with Sleight of Hand Nails. They're over on Woodruff. She's really fantastic over there. And then I'm in a business networking group. It's called WOW. And the people in that group have been really great to help get referrals out for me and help me find clientele. And it's been a really great experience.
So how did you find out about that?
I had friends in the group.
Oh, okay.
So it's for like small businesses and people to network together, and then we send referrals each other's way. So.
Nice. And it's been working?
Yeah, it's been working really well.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess that would be a good tip is look for some resources and networking to.
Yeah. Business networking has been a huge resource. There's lots and lots of different business networking opportunities and groups. You can join the Chamber of Commerce. There's this group called WOW that I'm in. There's a women's business in action group. I can't remember the exact name. You can join a BNI group. There's several chapters in the area. I know that there's PMI, but they're kind of more geared towards engineers and in that kind of field. But I know some people who are working on starting some other networking groups in the area as well.
Yeah.
And just kind of having that community of people that you can trust and know they can trust you to get on Facebook, and when they see a post, say, hey, I'm looking for a nail tech, or hey, I'd love to be a guest on a podcast. And you've got 15 people who jump on and they're like, hey, I know this great podcast, or I know this great nail tech. You should go see them. It really helps a lot.
It is. Those Facebook pages when people post, and it's like swarms of people attacking these pages. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
So do you have like photos or things to promote yourself? Like,
yes.
How do you stand out,
So I use Instagram. I have an Instagram and I have Facebook.
Okay.
And so I have a digital portfolio that way. And then Phoenix salons, they promote my stuff too as well, especially on like their Instagram. I'm also on TikTok, but I don't get on there as often.
So do you try to get like photos of as many of your customers as you can?
Oh yeah, I take before and after pictures of all of my clients. Funny thing is that I have an older gentleman who comes to see me every 4 weeks for a pedicure, and his feet always go viral for me.
What?
It's a little weird. It's always the feet pics. I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Like how
You're
viral?
in the feet finder.
I mean, viral for me is a couple thousand views.
Still for his feet.
Yeah.
Are they hairy?
No, they're really not that
What
hairy.
Are they
is
nice
the
feet?
viral
Yeah,
quality?
he's got nice feet.
Yeah. Well, probably if he comes in every 4 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, he's an older gentleman and started
That's awesome. Good for him.
getting pedicures kind of when he couldn't reach his own feet anymore. And but yeah, it's a little weird, but it is what it is.
No, it's funny. We were talking to, who was it? A spray tan artist here in town, and she said one of her like regular customers was like an older man who was like a farmer, and
that was waxing.
Was it
that
waxing?
waxing?
Which even more surprising.
It was
yeah,
waxing.
who would have
That's
thought?
funny.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, but it's always the feet ones. Anytime I post feet pics or reels of pedicures and stuff, those are the ones that get the most views. And it's really funny and weird. Oh. But I don't sell the feet pics, promise, guys.
Maybe you should. This just sounds like you should.
It's a thing. But no, I won't sell
them. That's
weird.
Give them a 5% discount if you can keep the feet pictures.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always, it's kind of a joke with people. Like I'll start taking the pictures of, especially with pedicures, and they're like,
yeah.
So you're not going to sell those on Foot Finder, are you? No, I'm not going to sell them on Foot Finder. Okay, because if you do, just give me a cut. We'll be good. It's awkward.
So say, like, I mean, if it's a service you can get at like another salon, what do you like tell a customer to get them to say, like, come to me for that?
So I mean, all of the services I offer are services that you can get just about anywhere. But the big selling point for me, the thing that sets me apart the most, is that I care about the health of their natural nails and their skin. And I'm going to take my time doing the service right. And I use more holistic products. All of my gels and acrylics are hypoallergenic. I don't use any artificial fragrances. And so that sets me apart, because some people have allergies to that kind of stuff. I mean, it's just the care that I take and the time, because a lot of, especially corner, like the mall salons and that kind of thing, they want you in and out as quick as possible. And so like a pedicure is 45 minutes and they charge you $80 for it. I'm going to sit you down, really take good care of your legs and feet and your toenails. And my pedicures last, depending on which pedicure package you choose, they last anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half.
Wow. That's nice.
Yeah. And as far as like manicure and nail services go, they're pretty average with what you get lengthwise, time-wise, going to just about anywhere else, about an hour to an hour and a half, depending on what service.
Have you seen that complaint on the Facebook groups? There was someone the other day that was complaining about wanting to get their nails done, but wanted someone who would like literally take their time and like.
I didn't see that one.
It was one complaining exactly about what you offer right now. Yeah. Because she was like, I went in and it was like 2 seconds and the girl barely cared about me. And she was like, where can I go to get a good, decent pedicure?
Well,
there it is, right there.
Right here.
But that threw me back to high school, because I would get my nails done here and there in high school. And it would be for dances, and it would be like acrylics or something. I don't even know. Wreck my nails, destroy them. Like, I'm pretty sure she like filed to as thin as they could possibly be. Yeah. And I've probably never recovered.
So a lot of those corner, like walk-in mall salons, they actually use a product that's not legal to be used on nails.
Really?
And they get away with it by hiding the bottles in safes and stuff from the board. It's a little sketch, some of the things that some of those corner salons do.
What is it? It's acetone.
It's the monomer that they use. It smells a lot stronger than monomer. So there's 2 types of, well, actually 3, but there's 2 types of monomer that are primarily used. And one of them is MMA, so it's methyl methacrylate, and it's actually a dental monomer. So it's made to make like fillings and things that are meant to be permanent. And a lot of cheaper salons will use that because it's cheaper versus the ethyl methacrylate, the EMA, that's legal, and it's a little bit softer and it won't tear your nails up and destroy your nails. Yeah.
Huh. Yeah. I guess another throwback was, it was my senior trip. We went to Paris and we met up with our friend. And before the trip, they went and got their nails and their hands done. And she had this crazy rash up her leg, like while we're in Paris. And then they like literally took her to a doctor and they were like, oh yeah, that was like some flesh-eating disease that you just acquired on your leg. So good thing she went in, because low-key I was almost like, get over it. But good thing she went in, because it was actually not good.
Yeah. So that was actually really common back in kind of the early to late 90s, all through the 90s. There were pedicure bowls that just weren't getting cleaned properly, weren't getting disinfected right. And so they were getting like mycobacterium and flesh-eating bacteria and stuff that was causing a lot of issues for a lot of people.
Yeah.
So then a lot of state boards kind of upped their requirements as far as disinfecting pedicure bowls go.
Okay.
And a lot of people think, oh, well, they put one of those plastic liners in the bowl,
Yeah.
so that it's going to be really clean, but that's not necessarily true.
Yeah.
Because like water can leak out of those liners and get into the bowl, and then it gets back into the liner, and so you want to make
Yeah.
sure that wherever you're going is following really good disinfection protocols, that they're running disinfectant through the bowls, especially if they have jets, that it's getting into the jets.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
and
The
cleaning
things
out
like
those jets.
Did you see that reel of the kind of unrelated to pedicures, but the little fish that like nibble on your feet,
Yes.
and like the girl that like lost her foot?
What?
I haven't seen.
Yeah,
that about
apparently
people
one
losing
nibbled on
feet.
her and got some like disease, like a skin eating
Really?
bacteria. Yeah, and she
I
had to
guess
get
that
her
makes
foot
sense. It's a
amputated.
living thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of like a thing that they
So,
do over in
I never
Asia
wanna
and
do that.
stuff. But yeah, they brought it over here, and it's weird. The fish eating the
Is
skin.
that
of the
considered
feet.
not holistic? Is that using the fish unholistically?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I think
well,
that might be
hot
considered
take.
kind of holistic because you're letting the fish do something that
It's like
they enjoy doing. I don't know.
veganism? This is
That's
like not
weird.
even the right thing. We're not eating the fish.
No.
We're just making them.
I wonder what PETA has to say about that.
Yeah. Who knows? I don't know.
I don't know.
You don't have any of those in your
No
place?
fish. No
No?
fish. No. My
just a
pedicure
couple
bowl.
trout in the bowl, some big fish.
Rainbow trout, right?
That's how you go viral. You kind of like make a joke off of that. Have
Yes,
some-
there we go. No, my pedicure bowl isn't plumbed, and so you don't have to worry about like the jets having anything crazy in it. And I scrub it down and I disinfect it between every pedicure, make sure that it gets really clean.
Yeah.
So you don't
That's
have
a
to
lot
worry
of
about
work.
that. It is a lot of work. It's a lot of work to stay to follow proper disinfection protocols. And I think a lot of people, especially people who've been getting their nails done for a long time, they look and they're like, I wish we had 2,000 prices where a set of nails was like 25 bucks or a pedicure was 30
Mhm.
bucks. And you just can't expect that anymore because one, the price of products and everything has gone up so much, and the
Mhm.
price of even booth rent
Just
and that
your
kind of
time
thing.
alone.
Yeah.
That's not even worth
Mhm.
it anymore.
Yeah, and then just following all of those disinfection protocols and making sure everything is clean and that you're getting, either a clean reusable file or a brand new file every time.
That's expensive.
Yeah.
That really adds up. Even just
Yeah.
the cleaners, like all of that.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
always
it
joke
adds up.
about that here at the studio. How like we're just cleaners sometimes when it's just a
Yeah.
bunch of
Janitors.
rentals and you just come in after people and you don't realize how much like things add up. Just the wipes
Yeah.
and like keeping things clean. It's like
Mhm.
Yep.
it's
Mhm.
like, God, it's expensive.
Yes, yeah,
Very
it can get expensive.
actually. Let's see. What have we not spoke about? Have you faced any challenges along your journey that have shaped you to where you are now?
Yeah, so working in the assisted living with those people, a lot of people you get are wheelchair bound, or because they're older, their skin is thinner,
Oh no.
or like they have other like memory issues and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes they'd forget they have appointments. You have to go get them, or they don't want to come to appointments. That's really fun.
Oh my gosh.
I had a lady who was like, she needed her hair done, and she was supposed to come and get her nails done, and I went to get her, and she basically said, well, you can tell my family to go screw themselves because I don't want to come. And so then we intervened. We got a nurse, and the nurse brought her up, and then she was happy when it was all done, but she was kind of funny. But I have one client who
I like her.
she was funny. She unfortunately passed away
Oh.
not quite a year ago. So
Yeah.
but I have one client who had a stroke a couple of years ago, and she's completely paralyzed on her left side.
Mm.
And her left hand is like this.
Okay.
And like her fingers are curved under, and they overlap, and they do all sorts
Yeah.
of funny things. And I've had a few conversations with her. I'm like, okay, do you want me to keep doing your left hand, or do we leave your left hand bare and only do your right hand?
Yeah.
And I, like I give you a discount. And she's asked me on more than one occasion, yeah, I'd like to keep having my left hand done.
Yeah.
And so I've had to alter my techniques and change the way that I do things
Yeah.
so that I can work with those really stiff fingers that aren't in the optimal position for getting them into
Sure.
a gel lamp, or, for doing
Yeah.
her nail enhancements.
That's
So,
awesome. That's important though, that someone
Yeah.
with like a disability can know that they can also get this service still, and you'll
Yeah.
accommodate that.
Yeah. And
Mhm.
it makes her so happy, and she feels so happy.
Yeah.
Right, she doesn't want that hand to just be like her bad hand. Like
Yeah.
it already
Yeah.
is for her, I'm sure. So it's
Yeah.
It's like, let's make it cute.
yeah.
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 Yeah. And so I continue to fight the good fight and work with those really stiff fingers.
Mhm.
I've also had clients who have had toenails removed for one reason or
Oh,
another.
no.
And so I got education and learned how to reconstruct toenails.
Oh.
And so I offer
Wait,
toenail reconstruction for
how does
people
that
who are
work?
missing toenails.
Like temporary, right?
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
temporary. It works best if you have at least a third of that toenail still on there, which a lot of people do still have,
Something.
And I found a product that's safe to apply to skin. And I just build, just like you do with like acrylics or whatever, you just build that nail on there and then polish on top. And
Why does it get
looks like they
removed?
have-
Like
Like
disease
health
or?
things.
yeah, all sorts of reasons. If they've got a really bad fungal infection, they'll just have them remove the matrix for the
Interesting.
toenail, or like if they've traumatized it really badly, and so it's growing
Gotcha.
funky, or if a lot of people will get them removed because they have chronic ingrown toenails,
Sure.
and so
Oh, that would suck.
yeah,
I'd get mine removed if I had that.
yeah, because it's really
Oh,
painful.
That is
Yeah.
so painful.
Yeah.
You
Interesting.
see a lot of things, though.
I didn't know that was a thing. Like
That's
adding
like-
it back to it. That makes sense.
Our jobs are different.
Yeah.
And whenever someone has someone where it's like literally touching another person,
Yeah.
like that's not my day-to-day life. Like you're like literally holding someone's hand
Yep. Yeah. I get to hold people's
You
hands
hold
and feet
people's
for a
hands.
living. Yeah.
for all day.
Yeah.
You get to have a good relationship.
I do. There's kind of a joke in the beauty industry that we're kind of like therapists. You see the girl math, and girl math is pay $200 for a therapy appointment or
Mhm.
pay $60 for a nail appointment and pocket the $140.
There you go. So do you have any advice for someone who's wanting to pursue or passion or start their own career?
Just do it. You're never too old. You're never too young. Just get started and find something that you love. And I know that they say if you do something you love, you'll never work a day in your life. But I don't think that's true. Right.
It's always work.
It's still work. And you don't really think about the behind the scenes things that you have to do too that are definitely still work.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But if you're looking at pursuing a passion and starting your own business, just do it. But one of the best things that you can do if you're going to do it is to find somebody to kind of walk you through it. Find some kind of business coach or educator
Mhm.
to walk you through that and hold your hand so that you can get started on the right foot and not make a lot of mistakes.
Mhm.
That's
'Cause
good advice.
That could be expensive.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. Talk to someone who's been there and done it, and
Yeah.
they can save you a lot of headache for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And it helps that you're married to a business coach. So.
Yeah, that does help.
You get to hear
Yeah.
about it all the time.
All the time. Sometimes I have to turn him to turn the coach off.
Literally, you're like, okay, I don't need a pep talk of how to get through this right now. I'm
Our-
bitching about it right now.
Our code phrase is it's not about the nail. So just zip it and listen.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so where can people go to look you up on Instagram or find you online to book you?
So on Facebook, it's just Ethne and Me, ETHNE and Me,
Mhm.
3 words. On Instagram, it's _ Ethne and Me, all one word, _.
Okay,
TikTok, it's just Ethne and Me, all one word.
great.
Yeah, I'm also on, I have a Google verified, so you can find me that way too.
Okay, so do they
Great.
just book you, like pre-book you online, not walk-ins, I'm assuming?
So I can take some walk-ins, but I can't guarantee that there will
Totally.
be a spot if you walk in. So yeah, pre-booking online is always the best way to go. And my website is just ethneandme.com.
Great.
So
Okay, well, thank you so much for being here. So
Yeah.
good to meet
thank you for having me.
Anything else? I guess we were saying earlier, this one's probably coming out like right before Christmas.
Yeah. I think it
okay,
might be
awesome.
Christmas in 2 days. I think this is before Christmas Eve. So
Mhm.
Merry
Mhm.
Christmas,
Okay,
everyone.
Yeah.
awesome.
If you made it
Merry
this
Happy
far.
Christmas.
holidays.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Awesome.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks.